Hi, Capricorn. Welcome to your weekly love reading. I hope you're doing well. Um, there's a lot showing up in your energy this week, so let's go ahead and see what Spirit wants to reveal about your love life right now, Capricorn, this week. So we have the Two of Cups, the King of Cups, the Seven of Cups, the Five of Coins, the Eight of Swords, the Ace of Wands, and we have Temperance, Four of Cups, Knight of Wands, and Justice. So this is all about balance. Justice to me is a card about balance. It's also about setting things right and karma. So I feel like if anything has been off in your relationship, this week is a time where you're really going to be paying attention to this. Okay, so the first card is the Two of Cups. So this is a very spiritual card, especially, when it comes to relationship. This means that you have, a soulmate relationship. There's someone you have a very strong bond with. So I feel like for most of you, you're coming into the week already kind of connected to someone. There's a connection that that you have with someone that's very special. Seeing it next to the King of Cups, I feel like, this might be, you're an earth sign, but it could be someone male or female who is a water sign or someone who embodies those qualities. I feel like here, there's something going on. I feel like you have something special with someone. It could be someone who is a water sign, or it could be someone who embodies those qualities. Someone who's very intuitive, someone who's very open-hearted, generous, very loving and affectionate person. But there's this confusion around this loving relationship. I feel like there's this confusion. And it could be, for some of you, it could be that there's more than one person. The Seven of Cups sometimes represents choices, too many choices, to where you're confused and you don't really know what decision to make. It could also be, it may not be more than one person in the picture, but it could be that you're confused about the soulmate here, what you're supposed to do about the relationship. And it could be that there's more than one opportunity, there's more than one outcome. It could be that you're staying together, because I see, some things going on in this reading, especially with the Five of Coins, the Eight of Swords, the Four of Cups. I feel like there's a relationship that's kind of like on the rocks, and there's confusion, like you don't really know how this is going to turn out. And again, this could be, this king right here, male or female, water sign, or just someone who's very kind of, sensitive and receptive and emotional. I feel like there's confusion and you don't really understand what's going on in this relationship anymore. You don't really know where this is going. I feel like there's a lot of kind of daydreaming with the Seven of Cups. You're doing a lot of daydreaming about where this is going. For some of you, for those who are single, it could be that you're meeting someone, someone coming into your life, like I said, a water sign, or someone who embodies the qualities of a water sign. And this person comes into your life and you're doing kind of a lot of daydreaming about where this relationship is going. Okay, so here you have the Five of Coins. So this, a card of poverty. And in a love reading, it just kind of, if you look at the woman, she's like holding on her cup, like, give me something. No, I'm starving. And I kind of, when I tune into this card, I feel like someone is starving for affection. It's like you have your love, your soulmate, but what happened to the celebration here? Whenever I see this deck, it reminds me of kind of like, like you're celebrating like your marriage or having a special date. But here she's kind of holding up her cup like, give me something. I'm miserable, I'm lonely. That's the energy of the Five of Coins. It just means that you feel lonely, and you feel like someone's not including you anymore. You feel, like there's no connection anymore. You feel like an outsider, like somebody has completely kind of shut you out. And with Justice being the theme of the reading, I feel like you're kind of setting this straight this week. You're letting your partner know that you're not giving me the attention that I need. I feel lonely and I feel isolated. I need more love from you. You will be setting things straight, or you will kind of be bringing this out into the open. For those who are single, I kind of feel like those who have been happily single, you might start to feel like lonely. You might start to feel like, maybe you're in a good place financially. Although this is a card of struggling financially, But you might kind of feel like, I'm lonely. I need someone special to share my life with. And you maybe begin to feel drawn to different people. Because this card does represent like not feeling a connection anymore, feeling like an outsider. So you might begin to look for love elsewhere, those who are single. Now, the next card here is the Eight of Swords. So this represents, feeling trapped, feeling like there's so many like restrictions around you, like you can't, there's no way out. If you look at the woman, she's like in the middle of this like giant spider web. And I feel like some of you, like you're really kind of invested in this soulmate relationship, like you've given it your all. This is probably a message for those who are married or living together or engaged. You've given it your all. You've had, like really special moments where you've celebrated your love together. And you really don't want to let go. But there's this like, element of confusion, like where did the celebration go? Where did the happiness go? Now there's nothing but, like question marks is what I'm getting from this card. And I feel like you feel trapped because you don't quite know what decision to make. You don't know what to make of your situation. And the Eight of Swords is always telling you that you're not trapped. It's just your thoughts that are making you feel trapped. So I feel like some of you, again, with the card being, this card here being on the other side of it, it's like you're feeling kind of lonely and kind of desperate for affection when it comes to your partner. But you feel trapped in this energy, like you can't quite do anything about it. But the next card is an ace, the Ace of Wands, which means that you're not trapped. Only if you're kind of keeping yourself there, refusing to maybe bring some balance back into the relationship, talking about your feelings. For some of you, maybe not everyone, but the Ace of Wands could mean that you move in a different direction. Because this, for me, the Ace of Wands, it represents almost like a major arcana. It represents like the Fool, like, completely starting over. So someone may not be giving you the love and respect that you deserve. And you feel kind of like stuck here, like, you love this person, because we start off with the Two of Cups, and not every sign has started off with a card like that. I feel like you already have someone special, but you're lonely, and you're not receiving what you should be receiving, what you used to receive, and you feel stuck. I feel because you love this person so much. And some of you, maybe bringing this up to your partner and fixing this, getting some balance back into your relationship, setting things right. And some of you will be moving in a different direction. It's just the message that I'm getting. Now, Temperance. To me, this card, usually we see an angel in the card. So I feel like for those of you that are really kind of struggling, and I do see that in this reading, there's plenty of angelic help for you to keep you together. I feel like here they're saying, like, make sure that you're really kind of compassionate with yourself and with your partner. Because when this card comes up, it comes up for a reason, and it comes up when you want to do something outrageous and something crazy. So for those of you who are married, could be that, you're so fed up with this energy of the Five of Coins and the Eight of Swords and the Seven of Cups, of not knowing. This is like a big question mark that you may decide to like move out, file for divorce. This card is kind of telling you to really think twice. This is not a card of action. This is a card of kind of laying low, is what I'm getting. I feel like some of you will be laying low and really kind of thinking things through, and others will not. I'm saying that because of the other cards I see down here. We have the Four of Cups. This card is telling me that something is not quite right, because the Four of Cups means that someone's not happy, in the sense that you feel like something is missing. You're not completely miserable, like the Three of Swords, but you kind of feel like a sense of emptiness, like there's like this empty place in your heart. And seeing the other cards around here, the Five of Coins, the Eight of Swords, the Seven of Cups, I feel like someone is just, contemplating like something huge. This is a major arcana. A big change, because you feel unhappy and unfulfilled. And that's why I said, with the Ace of Wands, some may decide to move in an entirely different direction. It's just like, I can't take this, I can't take this anymore. You do have the Knight of Wands. And this is, you taking charge of the situation. This is, this is kind of moving in a much more positive direction. This means that you're not going to wallow in this feeling here of just like, I'm unhappy and I really don't know why, but I'm just not happy and I'm stuck and I'm lonely. That's not the energy of this card. This is like, I'm not happy, well then I'm going to go and find my happiness elsewhere. That's why I feel like some of you will be moving in a different direction, or you're just bringing it up to your partners like, this and this is wrong, and we need to fix this relationship or this marriage, bring things back into balance. This card does mean Not everyone's going to break up. I'm not saying that, and I really hope not. The Knight of Wands, it just means that also that you're moving into a much more, positive phase in your life. You're moving away from negativity and oppression. But I kind of, I get the message that some of you are making that decision and some are not. Some are going to choose to stick around right here with these 3 cards. The 7 of Cups, the 5 of Coins, and the 8 of Swords, kind of sticking around in the confusion, and a big question mark, and the not knowing, and staying in this energy of this is such a sad card. It's just I'm lonely. Give me something, I'm starving. I feel like this is starving for affection and just kind of emotional poverty and just feeling completely caught up in the spider web. But I feel like you're the one that can, create the sense of justice. And maybe it is that you deserve better. Let's get some more confirmation. You have the 6 of Pentacles, the 3 of Swords, and the 4 of Pentacles, and you have 7 of Wands. Yeah, so to me, the 7 of Wands, it means that you stand your ground. It means that you're not afraid. Usually when the 7 of Wands comes up, it means that you're you don't want to speak your truth. You don't want to open up a can of worms because you feel that someone else is stronger than you. You feel like someone else has the upper hand. You feel like you're not going to win. But this is, this is a message to come forward and speak up. Justice in the 7 of Wands, there's something going on where you have to step up and say, this can't go on. And like I said, I feel like some of you will be making, that decision to speak up and fixing things, bringing the relationship back into balance. And some will kind of be looking for their happiness elsewhere. It's like you're not going to stick around to see where all this energy goes. You do have the 6 of Pentacles. So this is a really positive message that, with Justice here, you're going to get what you deserve. Both of these cards are very similar, except this one is a major arcana. This, like I said, balance and kind of, being the underdog. You've been wronged in some way. But this is a message that you're going to get what you deserve. It's also a message of help. And this help could be, from spirit, could also be from people around you, from family or friends who kind of see your dilemma in your situation. So they're just telling you with this card that you're going to get what you deserve. But I'm also getting that you need to tell yourself that you're not getting what you deserve. For those of you where this really applies, maybe this won't resonate with everyone, you should be receiving what you deserve. You should be reaping what you sow. And if you don't, then you need to, make a decision. The 3 of Swords. So I feel like here, someone's really hurting. I just keep getting that message over and over again. Some of you will be having a conversation to fix all of this, and it can't be fixed. And some will just choose to not hurt anymore, because this is an energy of heartbreak and sadness. It's like your heart is pierced. And usually it's because something has been lost. I kind of get the feeling that for those that don't want to stand their ground and speak up, you're more at risk that, losing your partner than the people that do speak up. It's like if you refuse to see something, then you're really kind of in trouble. Sometimes that is a lesson that you have to learn, to speak up for yourself. I feel like here, someone is really kind of hurting something, then someone has been lost. But you should be, looking for what you deserve. 4 of Pentacles. So this is a message of holding on to something material. This is a love reading, so you're holding on to your partner, holding on really tight. And there's nothing wrong with that. But make sure if you're holding on to your partner that it's someone that truly deserves you. That, or you're not the underdog and you don't feel stuck and you don't feel lonely and there's no confusion. I feel like here, choosing to fight for your relationship, is great. You're hanging in there. But not if what you're holding on to is nonsense. That's the only word I could think of. Make sure that what you're fighting for, you truly deserve, because you do have that message here. And I feel, looking at the reading like this, again, some are going to get what they deserve, but maybe moving a different direction. And some are going to choose to hold on. There's this message of a heartache. And it could be heartache as well because you're bringing up all these issues. There could be a struggle. There could be some time apart. But I feel like the main message here is bringing things back into balance, getting, you know, a sense of justice in your life, standing your ground, not being intimidated by your partner, not being afraid, especially afraid of losing them. Like, you have to do what you have to do to get the love that you deserve. Okay, Capricorn, I will end the reading here. I hope you enjoyed it. Much love and bless.